Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of In the Kitchen with Baker Girl. Thank you, Jesus. It is another beautiful day to be in the kitchen. Today's recipe I'm going to share with you is this fried buffalo wing chicken dip. It is so cheesy, it is so chickeny, and the best part of it is not deep fried in oil. Let me show you the recipe. Today's recipe is a fried buffalo wings dip. Now, nothing will be fried. Technically, we're not going to fry this dip, but I'm going to add a secret ingredient into this. It's going to give you that fried buffalo wings flavor. So before I jump into the video, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you enjoy seeing more cooking tips and ideas out of my little kitchen. Now, for this recipe, I'm going to be using a rotisserie chicken, and I'm just going to use the breast. I'm not going to use the legs or the thighs. And I've already taken that and shredded it up and set it aside. Now for the dip part, I'm going to be using cream cheese that I softened in the microwave because I forgot to take it out. But if you happen to do that, just stick it in the microwave for a few minutes. It's okay. And I'm just going to give it a little smush just to make sure it's it's soft enough. Because if it isn't, there's nothing you can do with cream cheese if it's too hard. Okay. Now to the softened cream cheese, I'm going to add in some Greek yogurt. Now, oddly enough, I don't have any Greek yogurt in the house, which I normally always have yogurt, but I have not been home like I want it to be, and I haven't had a chance to make any yogurt, so I just stopped at the store and bought some yogurt. No problem. If you have to buy some, that's fine, and I can always make some. So I'm going to add in some Greek yogurt. Now, I don't want to add in too much Greek yogurt because Greek yogurt can make your buffalo chicken dip a little watery. So don't overdo it with the Greek yogurt. But it helps to give you a nice, you don't need as much of the ranch if you cut it with a little bit of Greek yogurt. And I'm going to mix this up. Now I need the ranch, and I'm using light buttermilk ranch. I don't use full fat ranch really for anything because it's not necessary. I've used both, and I haven't noticed any difference between the light and the regular. Okay, I see at this point I am going to need a whisk. So let me transfer to whisk, because the spatula right now isn't going to cut it. Let me grab my whisk, and I'm just going to go ahead and start mixing this up. Might be a little stubborn because you still have a few clumps of cream cheese running around. But just mix it till it's smooth at this point. You know how to do it. Okay, now to this, I'm going to go ahead and start adding in a few spices and a few seasonings. So I'm going to start off with a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And you can add whichever spices you like, whatever is your favorite. However, you can use the spice blend. You already have a ready-made spice blend, you can use that. I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. And a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. And mix that together. I'm going to add some salt. And the salt depends just on how salty your, how well seasoned your chicken is and what type of cheese you'll be using. I'm going to use some mozzarella. Mozzarella is not very salty. Okay, now for the spicy bit, I'm going to be using some chili garlic paste, and this is quite spicy, so I'm going to use about a good heaping, maybe 1.5 tablespoons, but if you don't want it quite that spicy, you can always reduce it down. And I'm going to use some hot sauce as well. And I'm going to use a couple tablespoons of hot sauce. Okay, maybe a couple more. That's about 3 tablespoons of hot sauce. Mix it in. And I'm also going to add in, this is Mystique Smoke. It's liquid smoke. They have hickory, apple, and Mystique. Today I'm going to use some Mystique. Smells really, really nice. Just a bit. You don't need much. That's about 1/4 teaspoon. Okay. Now, you know it's time to taste it, because if you don't taste it, you won't know. So, thank you, Jesus. Let's taste it and see if we're happy with it. Definitely spicy. But you know what? It needs more hot sauce. I'm going to go ahead and add in another tablespoon or 2 of hot sauce. So that's a total of 5 tablespoons of hot sauce. And mix it in. Now I'm going to add in, and this is a little different, but the yogurt and the cream cheese, especially the yogurt, it can split when it hits heat. And so the way when you're cooking, every time you're cooking something with chicken, whether you're fixing butter chicken, not with chicken, with yogurt, whether you're using, you're making butter chicken or something that you're adding yogurt to and you're going to be cooking it, always add a little cornstarch to the mix. That prevents the yogurt from splitting. So I'm going to add in about 3/4 teaspoon of cornstarch, and that will prevent your yogurt from splitting. And now it's time for the cheese element that I'm going to mix into this. Now here I've got 2 types of cheese. I've got some fresh mozzarella cheese, and then here I have some smoked Gouda cheese. Now you can use whatever you want. You can use cheddar. Cheddar is really, really nice. You can also use, you can use blue cheese would be good. I'm not a big fan of blue cheese, but if you like blue cheese, and we are talking about fried buffalo wing. So if you want blue cheese, you can add blue cheese. But I like smoked cheeses. So I'm going to use some smoked Gouda. And I'm just ripping this up and adding it to it, because this is sliced smoked Gouda. And how much cheese you add depends on how cheesy you want your buffalo chicken, your buffalo fried wing dip to be. Okay, and then I'm going to, I'm going to chop in some of this fresh mozzarella that's already sliced that way. Okay, I'm going to do this my mama style and use my hands. I could rip it up. It's just fresh mozzarella. Make sure I'm cutting in the right direction. Put some of the cheese, add some of the cheese on top. So we don't want to use it all right now. Now I'm just going to switch to my spatula, back to my spatula, and just fold in all the cheese. Now it's time to add in the chicken. Here is my shredded rotisserie chicken, and it still have all the liquid from the, when you get a good rotisserie chicken, first of all, they should be juicy. They shouldn't be dry. If it's dry, you may not want to, I don't know, you might have to add something to it, because you don't want it dry. And I'm going to add all of that in there, all the liquid. I may not use all the chicken, because that was quite a bit of chicken. So I may not need all the chicken. But again, it just depends on how much you want to make. This is one of those free hand recipes where you can add more or little depending on how much you like. This is going to be so good. You can eat it with chips. You can put these on a bun and have fried buffalo wing chicken sliders. That'd be good. That'd be real good. Okay, now a couple more things is needed before I sign off on this, and that is I'm going to add in a little bit of fresh thyme. I'm not going to bother chopping it because thyme is so teeny tiny. You can use some parsley, You can use some rosemary if you wanted to. That would be good. But I have time, and so time it will be. I have time. Thank the Lord, I have time. Yeah, time can be a little strong. You don't want to overdo it. Now, to this is not necessarily traditional. Well, this is not your traditional buffalo wing dip. Anyway, because some buffalo wing dips can be a little dry. And so I'm adding in some diced red bell pepper. And I'm going to add in some diced yellow bell pepper. You can use green. That would be good too. Add those two in there. And we do have some veggies in here, so maybe we needn't feel so guilty about all that cheese. And now for what makes this fried buffalo wings, as you probably guessed it, fried onions. Yep, I'm going to add in some fried onions. Now, you can make your own fried onions if you want to. That's perfectly fine. But today, I'm not going to. So I'm just going to add in some of those. Reserve some for the top. That's really important. You don't want to mix them all in. Reserve. Oh, wow. It's like adding potato chips. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pour this into my casserole dish, and I have my oven preheated to 375 degrees. Here I have my casserole dish, and I did spray it with some nonstick cooking spray. So let me try to figure out the neatest way to do this, and I don't think there is one, but we'll try it. Okay, and for the last cheese I'm going to add on top, I'm actually going to grate some of the mozzarella. So since it comes in these blocks like that, I'm just going to keep it pinched together, and I'm going to grate some mozzarella right on top. And you can freeze this to make sure that it grates easier. It will grate easier if you freeze it. That's good. And just spread it out. Now for the last top, I'm going to sprinkle it with the fried onions. Right on top. Now this goes in the oven at 375 degrees for about, because this is a rather thick casserole, so I'm going to start it off for about 30-35 minutes. It may take a little longer, but I'm going to set the timer for 30 minutes and I'll check it. It should be very bubbly, and the top should be a nice golden brown, and the cheese should be nice and melty. So into the oven she goes. And here it is, fresh out the oven. Ooh, it smells so good. I hope you'll give this recipe a try. If you do, please let me know. And the good Lord willing, I will see you guys again in another video. Take care, y'all. Bye.